everything that you see in this video camera is for you as a resource to use it as you are in a warfare, to equip you to know those resources by reading or through the movies and the exposure, the world map, and those characteristics of those animals or movie characters. This is all important for you to use it. If we see Casper in between the Kyle Ren and Chess, to those maybe who watch the DC Comics and Marvel Comics or cartoon characters of the pop American culture, you know those characters. So Casper is the good ghost. It's a ghost, but it's a good character. Has the blue, you see it on the left, the dog has a good nose to sniff, to find. They use it for. And on the top, a kind of goofy creature is a flat or fluff ball. It's a lazy creature, always asleep, and I'm amazed we have that kind of creatures the first time I saw it alive in one of the aquarium. And there's Ralphie in the front, most like character, the Christmas movie. And there's Kylo, right? There's Chess, and there's Kylo. From DC Comics, the Star Wars trilogy, the movie or the comic books, or the Marvel comics, you will learn a lot. From this Star Wars trilogy, Kylo Ren is the son of Prince Leia and his father, who is liked by many. Those people are good guys, those people are good people. However, Kylo, their son, turned to the dark side and became a bad guy. This is very important. Those characters in detail will tell you the importance for you if you use this to win this battle. Every element, every character, the chess, how to play chess, to have the exposure worldwide, to have the spiritual knowledge, and the capacity to have forgiveness, to be a people of grace, or to be like a good leader, a woman of strength and dignity, like Esther in the Bible, or a good Sherlock Holmes, a good detective like Monk, and all those movies from Lion King to Batman. All those resources is very, very, very important and key resources for you to win the battle. Learning from history, learning from those pop culture, that American entertainment industry, and also about relationship. If you see at the back, there is two kind of couples under the umbrella. Relationship, it takes two to tango. And we can take that one as Adam and Eve from the Bible, when their relationship in the first time on. And there's this a cat, like the cheetah. Which one do you want to be? Is a question. Would you like to be joining the dark and trying to become a bad guy? like Kylo Ren? Or would you like to remain to be noble, like his parents, like his mom, Prince Leia, and his dad? Casper is a good ghost. Or those characters that I mentioned. The laziness that this fluff has, and Kylo being in the dark, the rest are good characters. They are loved, they have a positive influence in their characteristic traits, like the blue. You need to have a nose that can sniff and manipulation way from far for your enemy not to attack you, not to capture you. They give you a bait to attract, like a fish, then you will be trapped. Are you not the Black Panthers of Ethiopia? The pride of Africa? Which characteristics do you want to be? Like this cat, the cheetah? You should say, I am the queen of this jungle. Hear me roar. You should operate from the center of your strengths, not your weakness. If you want to go to the dark side, where Kylo Ren went to, it's easy. Your enemy is taking you and maneuvering you towards that direction. The battle in Ethiopia, the war in Ethiopia, the lingering chaos and destruction that we are experiencing, enduring, is not as a result of because our opponents or enemies are strong. I'm not undermining the strength they have. But what happened, the result, is not because of their strengths. It's because of the weakness of the Ethiopian people. They exploit your weakness and use it against you. This video is in response to the message that I see. This is the very first time, this is the very first season or time that I personally, public, I said, as a Tigray people, I am Tigray. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not ashamed with that. I am proud who I am because that's who I am. But I'm an Ethiopian. I see everybody, all people, the same way. Family, the way my closeness might have a different attachment and bond in the healthy way. Building and strengthening that tie is important. So does the rest of the relationship. This is my personal. When I say a noble character, people of Tigray is a noble character, and because the majority of the people have that, the psychological makeup, the people mind set resembles that. However, your enemy is watching and testing you in response to what we are trying to equip you, what we are trying also in a way to communicate to the enemy, and just like that, they are trying to defeat you. Any person who divides or use a strategy and method using division, hatred, I despise it. Let alone to go along with that. That's not my address. I won't be found in that category or society. People make mistakes. Give them a chance. Influence them to change. That's okay. That's a good thing. But do what they are doing and conform to their idea or whatever is a choice that I always pick. I will address this to all the Tigrayan people. Be mindful. Never, ever, ever let your heart to dwell any bitterness, any hatred, any prejudice, any thought of division, not only among yourself, but with the rest of the Ethiopian people, no matter how the challenge is. Then, when you start doing these things, that's when you start to fall. That's where your defeat is starting. And will be soon. It's a no-no zone to go there. We are preaching and teaching and equipping and trying to motivate, encourage people the value of unity and to operate from your own strength instead of weakness. And that is affecting our opponents, but on your own hands, and somebody's also destroying that. In public, using media, communicating division. That is a very, very, very indicatory. You are prophesizing your own fall. On your own, nobody else. We're encouraging people not to use your mouth, or rather to use like the blue, this dog, your nose. To detect the manipulation, to smell it, to be the good, kind heart like this Casper, or to be the predator like this cat. You're trying to be the prey. Those people see your weakness. We are working towards building the spiritual aspect, and you are dividing and saying no to this church, no to that church. That's what they want you to do. So we are not only encouraging or trying to educate or share our knowledge or experience or motivate or empower. I'm also very critical. If people can take it in a positive way for your own good. So any division, any enmity, any preaching of hatred is not acceptable. Not only acceptable, I personally despise it. We try to teach for people, Amhara people, to open their eyes. We tried. It didn't work. It doesn't mean people wouldn't change. Maybe our influence is not as such. Maybe people choose at times to learn through the hard way. We bring the experience how the Eritrean people are here right now today. The Amhara people follow that road. Now the Tigrayan people are joining that, entering at the gate of the danger zone to divide you and conquer you. Remember, this war is anti-Semitic. The Eritrean people, the Amhara people, the Tigrayan people should be careful. Which should be standing together in unity, but they are dividing you. We encourage, we are glad to see the progress where the Eritrean people and Tigrayan people are mending the relationship, standing together. That's strength. You are responsible for your own action and reaction, not somebody else. Whatever Amhara people do, or does, or did, that's their responsibility. But there is a responsibility in your action and reaction. We are building to bring those strengths to as a strategy. The enemy sees that, is threatened what we are to where we are going, and with the Tigrayan people themselves, the enemy is trying to crack down that strategy before it become even fruitful, become to achieve the goal. Knowing your enemy and knowing yourself. This very first rule of art of war is what the people of Ethiopia cannot overcome. Means you are still very struggling. Either you don't know the enemies, or you don't know yourself. Either you know your enemies, but you are operating from your weakness. Knowing yourself means what's your strength, what's your weakness. The Ethiopian caretaker is a thief, stealing documents and data, which further will be accountable for copyright, is using it to his advantage. What we have developed to use it for yourself as a tool. Be careful what you say and not to say. You are endangering people's life, and you are dragging us down also. So, to be on the same page, we will work on that. I will take that initiative because this is not a way to go about it. Just on the sideline, this is just a response to both to you, to make you aware. This is the enemy's strategy to divide you, because the strengths we are using, you are turning into using you through your weakness to dismantle their power. You have to have like a military strategy. And if you don't know, silence is also a very good support at this time. People are in a war, in active war, on the ground. Everybody's sitting on their comfort zone and to say whatever comes to their heart or to their feelings. They don't guard their Semitic, they don't use their brain and mind, endangering people's life. We're going 5 steps forward and taking us back ground zero. So this is a very danger. We don't advise it. We don't everybody to act and react, rather use your mind, your brain. People, because they are in media, because they have a voice, doesn't mean they are effective or helping. The people knows they are in danger. The people, the enemy. In the Greek mythology, and the Romans also find it, there is, after people die, there's a river. Right before the river, there is a gate. That gate is, watch, there's a dog named Cerberus. He's responsible, he's a guardianship for that gate. After people die, they go pass through that gate. The gate of to go to the hell. So this dog has a three-head of dog, according to the Greek mythology, like I said. The three-headed dog prevented those who were dead from not escaping that area once they go in. So it's like a prison, it's a hell. They're dead. So there's a punishment. They're going to, after they're being punished, they go to hell. They're dead, punished, and go to hell. And that dog is at the guard of the gate. And they cross this river. There's a river, and they go this gate of hell, or Hades, the word. And the Hades spelled like Hades. If people pay money, there's a ferry that will take them to cross the river instead of going to the Hades. It takes them to a paradise. So you find this in the Greek myth. The dog, the three-headed dog, Cerberus, is responsible. He kept the living from going, not escaping from there. And also the living from going there without the permission of the Hades. So it's like between going to the paradise, the hell, or the eternal life, or kind of analogy, that they have to pay. So people sometimes put in their casket, in the body of a dead person, a coin. So it has to do with this. Some people believe in that. If this casket is found in the cherry, to carry on, because they have to pay so that they can go to paradise. There's hell, there's no way out, and there's after punishment, but if they pay, they go to the paradise, the dead. The river is the boundary between the dead and the living of the earth. So it will take them back to life, go to paradise, and so and so forth, kind of myth and mythology people believe. Jesus is a game changer. In that introduced non-Jewish audience that Jesus died, went to and came back. Went to Hades, like the hell, and came back out of Hades. Like I said, this Greek mythology, after you go to the hell, there's no way out unless you pay. For those people who've been through the cherry, they take them from the water, bring them back to life. Kind of belief in those ancient Roman and Greek mythology. From through the Bible, so that what Christ died, and go to this Hades, the gate of hell, and came back out of the Hades, alive again. Jesus did the impossible. Imagine. In the Greek myth, people die, there's punishment, there's a judge who will judge and send them to this, through the gate where the three-dog head is guarding, and will be shipped to the Hades. So it will not come back, and the dog is protecting for them not to escape from that. But during that judgment, before they go to that Hades, the judge will decide if they pay also, they will carry them through the water and go to the paradise again, and they will live. So when I say Jesus is a game changer, he went to the Hades, the gate of hell. He died and came back and rose again and do the impossible. So Jesus went to the Hades. He gained the keys of death and hell, which means he now rules. In the form, if you are dead, do not live. It is in the power of the hell, the gate of the hell. But now he gets the key to death and hell, overcome and resurrect, and he has a key, the power over the land of the dead and the life destroying principle, also known as entropy. Entropy, order, from order of chaos. System goes from strength to weakness. It's a concept of physics, by the way. We also say aka, anti-life. Jesus has power over the anti-life principle in the realm of death. That means the very power of the devil is overturned by the authority and dunamis of Jesus. Jesus said, I'm the pathway, the road, the truth, the real truth, and the life. He is the source of that life. I come to give life the more abundantly. Jesus came to destroy the works of the devil, which operate through the principles of death. Principles of death equals the essence of rot, decay, ruin. And something after a body, if you smell a corpse, it stinks. After we die, that's how we smell. It's a decay, rotten. It's real. Do you want to spread life or death? It's a question that I want you to ponder. Moses told the children of Israel, I set before you today life and death. Therefore, choose life. There is in the Bible, the scripture, the prophet Ezekiel, maybe chapter 37, whatever. The dry bones represent what has been dead a long time. After we died, we're rotten, decay, the flesh will be gone, and through time will just be found bones, a dead, dry bones. And the vision included the prophet, which is Ezekiel, being commanded to speak to those bones, a dead, dry bones, thereby illustrating the fact that God can bring anything back to life. Nothing is beyond redemption. People make mistakes. The Amhara people knowingly and unknowingly engaging, being the instrument in the tools of the enemy. It's not beyond redemption. We say the enemy using the weakness of the Amhara people, especially being Semitic, enticed easily. Instead of their mind and brain, they are using their heart, their emotionality. Because of that, the defeat comes. The betrayal is one thing, the deception is another thing, taking an action is another thing. They do it all. They betrayed the leaders of the Oromara, part of the Oromara, the Amhara, they betrayed us, including the Amhara people or Ethiopians. Then they start to deceive us for their next operation of colonialism. They need people. So again, the Amhara people deceived, the rest of the Ethiopian people deceived. It doesn't stop there. They act and react, take action, so that for us to be surrendered, divided and conquered, to be captured. Now again, the Tigrayan people are engaging the same route. What makes Amhara people to be defeated? They use the weakness of the Amhara people. They are emotional. They give them like a bait to attract the national flag. How does Amhara people react compared to the concept of the national flag? How does Amhara people react and act to the name Ethiopia, just to the name? Pay attention. The devil knows you better than you know yourself. He's exploiting your weakness. So, in relation to the spiritual, nothing is beyond redemption. Instead of forgiving what others are doing, we hold a grudge and a bitterness. Hell loose. We are following towards our own fall, on our own. Nobody. It just give us a little bit. Subtly giving you a seed to tear you down. Not even the devil. The only thing keeps people from being redeemed is the rejection of the gift. It's not your wrongdoings it's not wrongdoings of other people's that condemns people. It is a lack of faith shown in rejecting the gift of life. If people, Ethiopian people, whatever resentment